In this video, we're going to be using Holy Kaw Fern Concerto and Wade & Butcher 7/8 for Barber's use. Stay tuned. Hey there, folks, and welcome back for another video. And if it's your first time, welcome. I'm your host, CDB. Today, as mentioned before, we're going to be using Holy Kaw Fern Concerto, and this is a rather pricey soap. Let's get right into it. This soap cost me $23.99 at the Razor Company. By the way, I want to mention the Razor Company. Anything above $10 in America ships for free, so great shipping opportunity there if you shop at the Razor Company. I talked to the owner of the Razor Company not too long ago. Great guy, and I look forward to doing more business with the Razor Company. Anyway, that's where I got this soap, $23.99 for 4 ounces, which is, I'll put it on the screen there for you, $5.99 per ounce. Pricey, almost painfully so. And this is why I don't take flyers with Holy Kaw soaps. And that is to say, a flyer meaning you're taking a chance on something you think you might like, but you're not sure. I have to have a lock. And so I saw the chief from Shaving with the Chief using this soap. And so he described it as like Sprite with a little woody type of scent to it. And by the way, we're working on 24 hours growth, which is our daily growth because I'm a daily shaver. Anyway, the chief talked about the scent being like Sprite with a little woody sort of aromatic woody sort of scent to it. And that's really what it is. The scent is very, very pleasant, so I'm happy with it. Very nice. It does smell like a woody Sprite. You get the lemon. I'll put the notes there for you, or the way that Holy Kaw describes it. But I think the chief described it best when he said a woody Sprite. Very beautiful scent, about right at the mid-range for me, about 5 on the scent strength. You've seen the cost. Quite a pricey soap. And by the way, our pre-shave was the PAA Cube. And today's razor, again, will be the Wade & Butcher. This is 7/8 Barber's Notch from around 1870. This Holy Kaw soap does make quite a creamy lather. I'll show you a shot of it right there. It is pricey, though. There's no question about it. So I don't take a risk. If I don't have a strong indication that I'm going to like the scent, I don't buy Holy Kaw soaps, because at the price they're just too expensive, in my view, to take flyers on. I'll take a flyer on a soap that's a, budget priced or budget friendly, but I don't generally take a lot of flyers on soaps that are this expensive. It is a good quality soap. The ingredients, it has those wonderful ingredients, and I do like what Holy Kaw does. They put donkey milk, cocoa butter, kokum, shea butter, lanolin. It is very heavy in the exotic ingredients. So I like to call it super blue emu, chupacabra oil, dragon tallow, unicorn milk. So it does have some good quality ingredients. And so it is also expensive. So you have to decide whether it's worth it to you. When I get a scent that's a home run from Holy Kaw, like this one is, it's worth it to me. But I will not take a risk at this price for most soaps. It's just, there are too many soaps that I know I'm going to enjoy, so, why take a risk? The one thing I would say is, I would like to see the base put on the label, because I have no idea what this base is, and soap makers change their base all the time, and everybody's interested in that these days, but I have no idea what the base is, so sorry, I can't give you that information. Anyway, let's get going and let's try to shave better today, because, by the way, I do have that existing spot where I nicked myself the other day, so we'll try not to open that up, but I certainly can't guarantee it, because it even opened up yesterday with the Schick repeating razor, which we used yesterday, which is a very cool razor. If you didn't see that, check that video out if you want to see a cool razor with some nice old school engineering. The way it loads the blade is just pretty awesome. And so again, today we're going to try to shave better. This blade right here, 7/8, is about the extent of what I want. in terms of size. It's still comfortable. It is quite hefty. It's got a really thick spine on it, but it's not cumbersome. And so for me, it's big enough, but it's not too unwieldy. Once I get above this, I think for me, it starts to feel just unwieldy. So let's see how we do over here. Hoping not to open that little nick today, but making no guarantees. Hope everyone is doing well this fine Saturday. Want to remind you that today is the day that the Lancaster towels drop at 3 p.m. Put a graphic up there for you. I tried to do that just as a public service because I know a lot of people want them. It makes no difference to me if you buy them, but it's nice to support people who do, things that are special. And those towels are, in my view, kind of special. Okay, first pass was good. The soap, very, very good quality. No question about it. There is absolutely no doubt that Holy Cow is a good quality soap. The question is always, do you want to pay the price? And for me, the answer is not always yes. It has to be a lock. I don't take flyers on soaps that are almost $6 an ounce. And a lot of people just won't buy them, period, because they feel there are too many great soaps out there that you can get for less. And I completely understand that, honestly. No one has to spend this kind of money for soaps. I just used Soap Commander yesterday and the lather was terrific. Does it have all the ingredients that this soap has? No, but it was terrific. And nobody needs to spend this much on a soap, realistically. But if you want to, it's there for you. And again, for me, I enjoy Holy Cow, and I will occasionally treat myself to other offerings if I know it's a lock. And thanks to the chief, I had a pretty good idea that this was going to be a lock. Otherwise, I would have never bought this. I don't buy them unless I'm sure. And the other one I have is the Pompelmo, I think it is, which is a grapefruit scent, and I like that one. So those are the two that I owned. I have tried others in the past, but in past years, they were, quite frankly, less expensive when they first came out. And now they are, they're right close to that painfully expensive level. And for me, even though you get this crazy, creamy lather, is it worth the price just on that basis? No, it's really not. However, because I do enjoy this scent, and this one is mentholated, so I'm getting some good cooling. I do enjoy it. This is a treat. So this is not something that I would buy normally, but I'm treating myself to a nice one. I will say there are plenty of soaps available, less costly than this, that will perform at a similar or better, in a similar or better fashion, like Ariana and Evans, Saving Shop Club. If you're in the club, you can get a soap that performs at least equivalently, if not better, for less. And so I always try to make those things clear to the folks who are on a budget. Let's try to remain cognizant of how we place the razor to our face, which is generally 98% of the time. If I'm going to get a cut, that's when I do it with a straight razor. Simply when I'm putting the blade to my face, being careless. So pay attention. That's the key. Very nice. I need to do a little better job stretching too. I am not always mindful in my stretching, and I need to be. And so what I do, by the way, another thing that I do is, I'm right-handed. I tend to go to my left on the more difficult passes first. And that's just something that I do. And I heard Jimmy from NYC Wet Shaving, not Yet Shaving, Wet Shaving, say that the other day, that he also tends to go for the more difficult side first. And I do that on my on the straight razor passes, on the second and third passes, which for me are a little bit more difficult than the first. I think the first pass for me has always been the easiest. The with the grain. Very nice. These Wade & Butchers are phenomenal razors. They really are. Some people don't like the Stallion. He doesn't really find them to be particularly special. Some of his preferences are the Japanese, like Parker Swedish stainless steel. I mean, he likes Wade & Butcher, don't get me wrong, but he doesn't find them to be superior necessarily to some of his other blades. He really likes his Japanese blades. And I don't have one, but I will get one at some point. All right, let's try to be gentle here over that nick. And what I've been wanting to do is go do longer passes, but I have not been doing a good job of remembering to do so. This cloth, by the way, is Dr. Matt. His daughter makes these cloths, and they are a perfect size for stretching, but half the time I forget to grab them and then end up using a washcloth or something, but they do work very well. And this was sent to me by a viewer. Thank you, sir. All right. And if you are watching, because I can't recall off the top of my head who sent me this, and I apologize, please let me know below. I really appreciate it, and I want to give you credit once again. All right, so far we're doing well. We're trying to make a concerted effort to pay more attention. Terrific razor this is. I think the Sheffield razors, it doesn't have to be Wade & Butcher, but there's something about these Sheffield razors that I just love. I don't know if it's the fact that they're old. This one's from around 1870. And if it could talk, it would tell a tale. Now I know Johan Solo, one of our buddies, he mentioned in his video, or actually in the comment, there's something nice about being the first owner of a razor. In other words, having one brand new. And for me, for some reason with straight razors, I'm just preferring the vintage. I don't know, we're shaving in an old style that's been around for a very long time. And so using an old blade, just feels good. Now, I'm obviously not using an old soap or an old brush. This, by the way, is the PAA Switchback 400, which I absolutely love. And it has an AP Shapeco Sinbad knot. These switchbacks are available again at PAA. So what it is, you can get it's aluminum, and you can get the handle, and then he also sells knots. So if you want to use a PAA knot, you can get one there, but you put your own knot in it. And these rings are interchangeable. So you can put different knots in the rings, or whatever they're called. I can't remember the actual name. And so you can have one brush and just have several knots. In fact, J.R. Reyes reached out to me on Instagram the other day and said, hey, I have I have an extra ring that would work on that brush. Would you like me to send it? And I said, hey, if you want to, I'll drop a knot in it. And so thank you, JR. If you happen to see this, I really appreciate that. Great guy. We talked on the phone the other day. What a terrific guy he is. And he really has some good insight on a lot of things. We just discussed all the issues of the day, and it was a really good conversation. So thank you, JR. And he also restores brushes, and he can drop a knot in it for you, or he can really do all sorts of stuff. So check out JR on Instagram. Reyes Restores. I have a bad habit of saying Reyes for some reason. And David Gonzalez, So Sharp David, corrected me. So thank you, David. I try to get folks' name right, and I try to be respectful. And JR's been at it for a long time, so I certainly appreciate his efforts and contributions to the hobby. I don't really know anybody who doesn't like JR. Like me, there's plenty of people over the years that have decided they're not my biggest fans, and I get that. You can't be loved by everyone. But JR is one of those guys that, he's just a likable guy. And I don't really know anybody who's ever said a bad word about JR. And so that's excellent. Really, really awesome. God, this blade is really working well. It was a good investment. Let's just finish this up. Finish up strong, as they say. Again, for me, this 7/8 blade, I could probably use an 8/8, but this is about as big as I want to go. If I found one that was just fantastic, and it was 8/8, and it was a great price, would I pass on a razor like that? No. But really, this size is about the max, because this is a beefy blade, if you look at that. But it cuts well. It's in great shape, and it has lasted a very long time. Again, this is for Barber's use, Wade & Butcher, from around 1870. And I really, 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 really appreciate these vintage blades, and it has treated me well today. I have another Wade & Butcher. Well, of course, you know, there's the one the Stallion gave me, but I bought a one that's a medium-sized hollow, and that one is really one of my favorite blades to shave with. I have to deliberately keep from grabbing it, just to rotate through my other blades, you know. And I got that one from John's Shave Shop on Etsy, who we're going to be talking to later today on Skype, and we're going to make a video of that conversation, and that will be fantastic. So if you have any last minute questions for John, put them below. Okay, we've had a great shave today. No weepers, creepers, cuts, nicks, bubbles, troubles. Fantastic. Let me rinse the face. We'll come back. We'll try out our PAA alum. Stay tuned. All right, here we are back with our PAA alum block complete with the dry dock, and wowee. No stinging today. I don't feel anything, and maybe the menthol has something to do with that. That was a terrific soap, by the way. Wow, no stinging. That was an excellent shave. And again, the dry dock keeps the alum from wasting away due to it being damp. It dries out. Your alum is supposed to last longer, and it's not getting crusty. So far, it's working great for me. Let me rinse this off. We'll come back and finish it off. Stay tuned. All right, back with the Lancaster towel, the moisture magnet, which does drop today at 3 p.m. The date of recording this video, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Let's get in here with some Thayer's Magic, because it's made by witches. That was a tremendous shape. I must say, after the last two outings being poor with the straight, today we got back on track. We paid attention to our technique, and that is the number one thing. Technique means everything, especially when straight razor shaving. There's no soap that can protect you from bad technique. It's all about how you wield that razor and knowing what your limitations are. Okay, let's do a quick recap. Wade & Butcher for Barber's use. 7/8, excellent, fantastic shave today. That razor was worth every penny. PAA Switchback 400 with AP Shave Co. Sinbad knot. Terrific. There are more of the switchbacks available. I will link it below. The Holy Kaw Fern Concerto. Very good quality soap. There's no question about it. Pricey, but good soap. This one is a treat myself kind of soap. I normally wouldn't spend that kind of money typically, but that one is good enough that I am happy with it, even having spent that much. I'm going to close it out today with PAA St. Martin's Land, just because it's green and it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Holy Cow. Now, I know Douglas has a video on using the vacuum, turning it upside down, but I find the easiest way for me, put my finger over it and just let some out. Because sometimes when I turn it the way Douglas does it in the video, some of it spills out while it's being turned. And so you can hold your finger on it and flip it all the way and then let it go too, but I just prefer to do it that way. I'm gonna go for another one. I'm finishing it off with green. Oh yeah. St. Martin's Land. I really love the scent of this. Again, there'll be a link below if you are interested. Thanks, everyone, for joining us once again for a terrific shave. This was a good one. I want to remind you, I'm your host, CDP. It is your shave. Do it your way. And as always, God bless.